Hello and welcome everyone at T-Mobile. This is Sébastien Petit speaking. I'm going to try to introduce you to Piggyback, our Android application. This is recorded live very late at night, so please forgive me for my English. Let's start Piggyback. See our nice splash screen. Okay, here is the main grid layout, the main activity. We'll start by describing each icon and what it does, and then we'll finish by a scenario between a passenger and a driver. So to begin, here you have on the left passenger icons, here on the right drivers icons. So let's start with the least interesting ones quickly. You can quit the application here. The About screen, which is not really interesting. Here you have an important feature, but it's not implemented yet. It's just a fake screen, randomly generated screen. So let's click it. History and balance of all your trips between passengers and drivers. Okay, history and balance. The month will be inserted here, a monthly balance. How much money you gained as a driver. Only drivers can earn money. Passengers can only spend money. Okay, if you're a driver, you can be a passenger or a driver, both. And then your balance. So if you don't have a car, you'll always be a passenger and you will always pay money. This is randomly generated. This list is random, so meaningless, but you'll have the date if you were a passenger on the trip or a driver, how much money you spent or how much money you earned. Let's go back to the main menu. Then you can select to see your profile here, my personal profile. This is my real name anyway, by the way. So this is not really important. What we need is a valid email address. This is what's important for us, and this is what we keep on the server. The rest doesn't really matter, but it's always nice to have. And this will details will be added later, but this is interesting too. We need to know how long people are ready to drive to go and pick up passengers. So this is an interesting feature. You can also see your ratings here. Click ratings. So this is me. I was rated by my brother, and you can see that I have bad marks. Everything can evolve here. These are not the definitive the definitive criteria. Okay, that's my profile. I can also manage my cars. So a couple of things here. At the bottom you can see a list of all your cars. You can see that there's only one picture at the moment in our application. So you can add cars. Let's edit one. Edit a car. Select the make, the model, license plate number, which is important if you want people to recognize your car, passengers. Car color, it's very bright at the moment. We need to fix that. You can select your color. Everything can be done with the finger. Okay, my mouse pointer is the finger. You'll be able to take a picture of your car, but for now it doesn't really work in the emulator, so this will be added later. How many seats are there in the car? By default. Okay, is this my default car? And you can save your settings. Right, so here you can manage your cars. Now the most important icons here at the top. Planned rides. You can plan in advance your rides as a passenger. As you can see from the icon, this is our default passenger, and the calendar here shows that it's not in real time. So let's see how this works. As a passenger, I already have one fake trip. Let's create a new one. Let's call it test trip 1. Here you have a workflow at the bottom, and here you'll have an area where everything is reminded. It used to work, but we need to fix it for the challenge. So just select your departure date and time first. Next year. Departure time. Okay, you can see that the workflow is advancing, checking that what has been done. Set your starting point from a variety of places, from your favorites. Here is a list of favorites. There's a small bug, but we can fix that easily. It's fixed in some places, not here. So let's say I'll start from San Francisco. Set destination. The workflow is advancing. The destination by address from map. Okay, sorry for the introduction. Baby emergency. So as I was saying, you can set your destination from favorites, by address from map. By address is convenient, so let's go. This is a new trip, by the way, so this time I'm going to San Francisco Airport. Check. You'll see my destination. How many seats do I want if you're a passenger? Sometimes, well, most of the time you'll be alone, sometimes 2, 3, 4. Let's say two persons. Check. Departure, destination, origin. You can review your trip at the top of the screen. This is not connected yet, unfortunately. And then when you're happy, validate your trip. Wait for a few seconds. Your trip is sent to our server and then comes back to your phone. You can see the date, the label, and I'm going to explain this in a minute. Click it and then you can check the details of your request. So now the traffic lights, red. All requests have been sent, but you've been rejected by everyone, so no luck this time. Orange, you're still waiting for drivers to decide if they want to accept your request or not. And green, you've been accepted by someone, so you're free to go. Let's go back here, main screen. Plan trips is exactly the same. The only difference, so here you can review your trips, accept passengers. The only difference is when you create a new trip, the car part at the bottom. Here you can select your car and say how many passenger seats are available, but that's the only difference. Okay, that's it for the plan part of the application, and now the transition. Let's move to a video made by my brother where you can see side by side a passenger in real time asking for a ride to a driver. Right, so on the left you have a driver. All drivers are supposed to have a GPS in their phone, so they only have to set their destination from favorites here. How many passenger seats are available this time? You can select as many as you have, 3, check. And then validate your trip. This is the summary. Now the driver is on its way. On the right you have the passenger looking for a ride. Type in the address. He's going to Palo Alto, California. And you can see the car moving on the left. The destination flag. You can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, the route here is indicated in green for the driver. Passengers have to set their position because they're not required to have a GPS. So if you have a GPS, it's automatic, but otherwise you have to set it manually. The passenger is going to the airport, San Francisco Airport, and he wants 2 passengers in the car. And validate. So this is when the request is sent. Here you can see various cars. They're going to their destination here indicated with a red line. You can check their ratings. You have an indication of price, distance, and you can then ask the driver if you're happy with the driver who receives your request. And that's about it. When you're accepted, the driver is on his way to pick you up, and that's it. Okay, this is just a side note and a conclusion to the video. The video recorded by my brother goes too quickly, so to explain what happened at the end, you as a passenger can select drivers, up to 10 drivers. Only the best matches are sent to passengers. You can select drivers with your D-pad, and when you're happy with a driver that goes in your direction, you can select him with the OK button, or just click on the car on the map. Right, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Feel free to experiment with the program and let us know if you have any further questions.